My name is Lim Tat Meng. I work full-time in Kachara Puja House, and I also teach Dharma in Kachara Adult Sunday Dharma classes. I'm going to share with you the story of how Dorje Shugden arose. Dorje Shugden comes from a line of enlightened lineage masters such as Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen, Panchen Sonan Drakpa, Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen, Sakya Pandita, Naropa, all the way back to Buddha Manjushri. This story, according to His Holiness Kyabje Trijang Dorje Chang's text, Music Delighting the Ocean of Dharma Protectors, begins at the time of Lama Tsongkhapa. One day at the Ganden Monastery, when Lama Tsongkhapa was giving a discourse, a dove flew into the compound and was circling his throne. Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen saw it and knew that the dove was Dharma Protector Nechung. So after the discourse had ended, Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen asked why it had disrupted the teaching earlier. The dove immediately transformed itself into a young boy. Nechung then said to Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen, "I needed your help to protect the precious Nagarjuna's middle view teachings as presented by Lama Tsongkhapa. You must arise an uncommon Dharma protector of the teachings. I could not do this as I had already sworn to Pamasambhava to protect Buddhism generally." Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen was surprised. However, he had agreed that he would do it for Lama Tsongkhapa. Nechung then reminded him to keep his promise. Who is Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen? Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen is a hard disciple of Lama Tsongkhapa. It is said that Lama Tsongkhapa and Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen were of the same enlightened mind. Both had manifested as guru and disciple to show the perfect example of guru devotion. After Lama Tsongkhapa had passed away, many students of Lama Tsongkhapa had asked Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen to ascend the Ganden throne as the first Ganden Tripa. However, Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen had politely declined the position. Instead, he offered it to Gyaltsab Je because he wished to devote his entire life to make Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching grow. Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen is also known for his impeccable practice of Vinaya. He saw the entire construction of Ganden Monastery in Tibet, which was his offering to Lama Tsongkhapa. Ganden Monastery was established by Lama Tsongkhapa as the foremost monastery of the Gelugpa lineage. At the end of his life, Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen took rebirth as Panchen Sonan Drakpa. Now, who is Panchen Sonan Drakpa? Panchen Sonan Drakpa was a scholar. He was well known for writing 11 definitive volumes of philosophical teachings. These texts are still being studied in the Ganden Shase and Drepong Rosaling Monastery today, and it forms the central syllabus for becoming a Geshe, that is the equivalent of a PhD in Buddhist studies. Panchen Sonan Drakpa was the only person who has ever become the abbot of all three main Gelug monasteries, Ganden, Sera, and Drepong, in a single lifetime. He was the abbot of Gyuto Tantric College. He was the spiritual guide to the third Dalai Lama. He became the 15th Ganden Tripa. A few lifetimes later, Panchen Sonan Drakpa was reborn as Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen. Who is Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen? Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen was an accomplished Buddhist master. He lived during the time of the 5th Dalai Lama. Both Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen and the 5th Dalai Lama lived in Drepong Monastery and were the direct disciple of Panchen Losang Choki Gyaltsen, the 4th Panchen Lama, who is the one who has written the Lama Chopa liturgy. Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen and the 5th Dalai Lama were highly respected and considered pure and precious teachers. Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen had completed many retreats in hundreds of caves around Tibet. Many would go to these caves to make offerings and seek his blessings. At the time, the 5th Dalai Lama came into power and became the political leader of Tibet. In the meantime, Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen's popularity and fame as an accomplished master grew. he attracted so many sponsors and students from even the nobility from Tibet, Mongolia, and China. The assistants of the Fifth Dalai Lama were jealous and unhappy that this will overshadow the Fifth Dalai Lama's fame, and hence had plotted to kill Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen. During this time, Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen had an audience with Nechung to an oracle. Nechung asked Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen whether he is ready to become a Dharma Protector, and he had remembered his promise. Unfortunately, Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen could not remember his promise. Then Nechung gave him some blessed rice to eat to help him to remember. Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen eventually recalled his promise after consuming the blessed rice. Nechung said to Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen, "Now is the time you to arise as the Dharma Protector. Now is the time. Keep your promise." However, Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen said he didn't have any anger to be that kind of protector. Then Nechung said he will create the causes for him to become angry and to become the protector. The Fifth Dalai Lama's assistant, Desi Sonam Chopel and Depa Nobu, had plotted to kill Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen earlier. So in an audience with Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen, they tried to stab and poison him, but they could not because he was so highly attained. No matter how hard Desi tried to stab him with his weapon, it would not penetrate the skin. Eyes appear in places where they have stabbed him, and these eyes would stare back at them. And the poison had no effect on him too. Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen simply did not have the karma to be killed. Finally, it was Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen who told the Fifth Dalai Lama's assistants how he could only be killed through strangulation with a kata. He had revealed the method to his death because he wanted to fulfill his earlier promise to Nechung to arise as an uncommon protector. Seizing the moment, they took the kata to strangle him. And as he was being strangled, Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen generated mind of enlightenment. It was said this murder was so violent that at the point of death, a slight amount of fierce energy resembling wrath arose in the mind of Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen. This energy created the circumstances for him to arise in the form of Rafu Dharma Protector Dorje Shugden. At that moment of death, Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen remembered Lama Tsongkhapa, and he offered his life to his Lama Tsongkhapa, to the lineage, to anyone who practiced Buddha's teachings and who have faith in Lama Tsongkhapa. He would assist, protect, nurture, clear obstacles and difficulties, and to help them with their finances. He generated that aspiration and died with that last thought. Please note that enlightened beings like Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen does not have the throwing karma to be born as a malicious spirit, and therefore Dorje Shugden, that Arose cannot become a malicious spirit. During the funeral of Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen, the funeral pyre could not be lighted. One of Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen's attendants were very upset. He took his monk's robe to hit the pyre and he said, "Some kind of Lama you are. You are supposed to be a high Lama, and you don't even exact revenge on them, and you don't show any signs. They just simply kill you and that's it." He was crying tears of anger when he said that. The Fifth Dalai Lama eventually found out it was his people who had killed Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen. He became very distraught, so that he immediately composed a poem to apologize to Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen. Both the Fifth Dalai Lama and Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen had a deep relationship and connection from a previous life. Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen was a reincarnation of a teacher of the Fifth Dalai Lama's previous life. When the poem was finally read out to the assembly in front of the funeral pyre, the wood of the funeral pyre finally caught fire. From the fire, a huge black smoke in the shape of a hand appeared and covered the entire sky. This was the sign of his transformation as a Dharma Protector. Subsequently, Tibet suffered many bad omens. Crops failed, many animals died, monasteries lost great sponsors, earthquakes occurred, and the diseases spread throughout the land. The karma to kill such a high Lama like Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen was very heavy, and these bad omens are the result of negative karma of killing Tuku Drakpa Gyaltsen. At that time, many thought Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen had turned into an angry spirit, but the fifth Dalai Lama knew Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen had arisen as a Dharma protector instead. He wanted to show Dorje Shugden's many special qualities. If Dorje Shugden is not an evil spirit, he cannot be killed. Therefore, the fifth Dalai Lama requested a high Lingman Lama called Duldzin Rinpoche to perform a powerful fire puja to kill Dorje Shugden. Duldzin Rinpoche's fire puja rituals are known to be very powerful for exorcising the most powerful spirits, so that when they die, their consciousness takes rebirth in a pure realm. So during the fire puja, every time when Duldzin Rinpoche tried to kill Dorje Shugden, he had a vision of Yamantaka. Dorje Shugden had manifested as Yamantaka, and he was unable to kill Yamantaka. In the meanwhile, in a separate fire puja, Dharma Protector set up Arose and created visions to stop monks from performing the puja, and he requested Dorje Shugden to be enthroned among the other Dharma protectors. Subsequently, Dorje Shugden went to Shakya and was enthroned by their patriarch to be a Dharma protector. Similarly, the eighth Dalai Lama, the regent of Tibet, and the Qing Emperor Dao Guang had also recognized and enthroned Dorje Shugden as the Dharma protector of Ganden lineage. The fifth Dalai Lama had also built the Trode Kangsa Chapel, the earliest Dorje Shugden chapel, which still exists today. The fifth Dalai Lama had also made a statue of Dorje Shugden himself, which is now kept in Pekaling Monastery in Kathmandu, Nepal. Since then, Dorje Shugden lineages and practices have spread far and wide until today. In conclusion, Dorje Shugden is an enlightened being, an emanation of Buddha wisdom, Manjushri. He arose as an uncommon Dharma protector 350 years ago, sworn to protect the precious teachings of Buddha known as Lama Tsongkhapa from degenerating and to benefit all sentient beings. This story of how Dorje Shugden arose provides us an insight into the lives and compassionate activities of these enlightened beings like Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen, Panchen Sonam Drakpa, Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen, and Dorje Shugden. You may ask, why is it important to know this story? Well, according to the prayer, Yonden Shugyuma, the foundation of all realization, well realizing that the root of the path, the foundation for every realization, is to properly rely on my kind Guru. Bless me to do so with great effort and devotion. Hence, it is of utmost importance that we rely on our Guru and check that our practices has an authentic source, proven to work, and can be traced all the way back to Lord Buddha. All the actions of the enlightened beings like Lama Tsongkhapa, Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen, Panchen Sonam Drakpa, Duldzin Drakpa Gyaltsen, and Dorje Shugden are based on and arise from great compassion. We can practice with complete faith and confidence when we know, appreciate, and rely on our lineage masters. We will then be able to receive blessing from these lineage masters that will help us to gain spiritual realizations. Thank you.